So yesterday, I remember talking about how aspiration is absolutely important.
昨天我们讲到发愿是非常重要的。
This morning we were talking about relative truth and ultimate truth.
今天早上我们讲到了世俗谛和圣义谛。
Well, relative bodhicitta and ultimate bodhicitta, maybe this is also how you can understand.
世俗菩提心和圣义菩提心，我们也可以用这个方式去理解。
Ultimate bodhicitta, when we talk about ultimate bodhicitta, is, I was giving the analogy of the dream falling from the building.
那么讲到究竟菩提心或圣义菩提心，我们之前提到了梦的这个例子。
Ultimate bodhicitta is like, nobody's falling.
那么从究竟菩提心的角度来看，就是根本没有人在往下坠。
But relatively, there is the perception of falling, and therefore there is the fear.
但是相对而言是有在往下坠这样子的一个视角，所以就会有恐惧。
And because there is fear, of course, there is wish to be free from this fear.
那么因为有恐惧，所以就会有希望从恐惧当中解脱的希望。
And this wish, and in one way, you can say this is the seed of the aspiration.
那么这份希望，你也可以说它就是祈愿发愿的种子。
But ironically, the cause of this fear is unfounded. In reality, it's an illusion.
但是非常矛盾的就是这个种子的因，其实在实际上来说，它是一个幻象。
But it doesn't do any good if somebody is having a nightmare and then you go into their dream and tell them, you are just dreaming, unless the person is ready to sort of contemplate and hear what you are saying, it's not going to do any good.
那么，假如有个人他正在做噩梦，然后你跑到他的梦里面跟他说，你其实只是在做梦，除非这个人他真的已经准备好要听闻思维你说的话，不然的话其实没什么用的。
At times, it's good to also get along with the story of their dream.
那么有的时候，其实假如能够熟悉他们做梦梦境里面的这个故事线的话，那么其实也是会有帮助。
Now here we need to, but because this is a Mahayana text, we are talking about, awakening from everyone else's dream.
那么，因为这是一部大乘的佛典，所以我们在讲的是要使所有人从梦中醒来。
Yes, this also makes things a little complicated.
那么这也让事情变得更复杂。
Because one would say, this is their dream, and my dream is my dream. And after all, Buddha said, he cannot wipe your suffering. You should do it by yourself.
那么这样讲的原因，是因为我的梦是我的梦，他们的梦是他们的梦。就连佛陀都曾经说过，佛陀本人都没有办法把你的苦移除，所以他们应该自己醒来。
So what is this taking everybody in? Why take the responsibility of awakening others?
所以我们为什么要负这个把别人唤醒的责任呢？
Of course. So these are what makes things a bit complex.
因为这些种种原因，事情变得比较复杂。
So always talking about these two, the relative and the ultimate, at times as one, at times as a different. This is always going to be challenging, and as I have noticed, many of the questions are stemming from this.
所以要看待世俗和究竟两者，有的时候是两者合而为一，有时候是两者分开，这永远都会将是一个挑战。这也是为什么很多问题都跟这个有关。
There are series of questions like this.
有很多这方面的问题。
I don't know, hypothetically speaking, Buddhists hate to hear these questions.
那么假设这个，其实佛教徒并不是很喜欢听到这些问题。
There's even a sutra where there's a list of 14 questions where Buddha never really answered.
甚至有一部经里面讲到有14个问题，佛陀从来没有去回答。
And actually, not answering was the answer, which many people actually misinterpreted as sort of no answer. But the no answer was the answer.
其实不去回答正是佛陀的答案，但是很多人误解是佛陀不知道怎么回答，其实不是的。
Okay, one of them is when did everything begun?
其中一个问题就是，这一切是从什么时候开始的呢？
See, that's a tricky question.
那么这就是一个有点陷阱技巧的问题。
Because the question of beginning alludes to the original Genesis. So then you are kind of talking about the ultimate truth. In the beginning, the real thing. Buddhists don't like that.
因为当你讲到说“开始”这两个字的时候，你就有点想是在讲原始或者是创世纪这样子的概念，那么就跟究竟实相是有点关系，好像什么事情是真实存在的，而佛教不喜欢这一点。
Remember when the person who's falling from the building, the beginning of the fall, it's a bit like that.
你记得在梦中往下坠的那个人的例子吗？从他一开始往下坠，那个时候有点像是这个意思。
Actually, never really happened. So there's no beginning of the fall.
因为其实从来就没有往下坠这件事，所以根本没有什么时候开始下坠。
The beginning of the fall can be only talked about just because there is some ground underneath.
开始下坠这件事情之所以可以被谈论，是因为有所谓的地面。
So these are some of the questions, which is really good that many of you have asked these questions. It really means that actually my whole point of agreeing to do this Pranidhana Raja, I'm happy that it has really confused you guys.
那么许多人问关于这方面的问题，真的很好。因为我之所以答应来讲普贤行愿品，就是能够让大家变得比较迷惑一点，真的很好。
Because it's, as I'm repeating here, beginning, end, like Genesis, Armageddon, end of the world. Those are as arbitrary as talking about the beginning of the dream as I just fall from the 26th floor, and then I was slowly falling on the 22nd floor. It's like that.
因为当我们讲到开始、结束、创世纪、末日等等的概念，这些其实都是非常虚设的，就如同你在说，我从梦里面，我从第24楼掉到第22楼等等。
But I can't also dismiss it. You see, this is the problem.
但是同样，我也不能就摒弃他们。
There is a real pain there. It's called nightmare.
因为当中确实有苦痛，之所以称他们为噩梦。
Sweat and everything, screaming and sleepwalking, everything.
冒冷汗、尖叫、梦游等。
Nightmare, samsara, whatever you want to call it.
噩梦、轮回，不管你要称之为什么。
I hope you realize that Mahayana really have, just generally Buddhism, especially Mahayana, has a different way of looking at the world.
我希望大家能够理解佛教，尤其是大乘，真的有一种看待世界不同的方式。
And I think it's good, even if you hear it intellectually, it will really change your perspective.
那么，即使你只是在知识的层面上听闻这一点，这也会改变你的观点。
Even if all this makes you realize everything what you say is vague.
就算它只是让你理解说，不管你说什么，都是非常的模糊的。
When I say, rose is red,
当我说玫瑰是红的，
rose, of course, is vague.
玫瑰这一切当然是非常模糊不清，
Not too bad though.
但没有太模糊不清。
Red is so vague. What is ultimate red?
但是红色真的是非常的模糊的概念，到底什么是究竟的红色？
So, vague number 2. Not too bad, but the worst is.
所以最糟的就是不是最糟的，但是就是是这个词。
Oh gosh, what a, tragedy this is.
这真是一场悲剧。
Red. I mean, rose is red. What is?
玫瑰是红色的，是到底什么是是呢？
So you just now apply this to everything.
所以，假如你把这一点应用在所有事情上面，
All your values,
所有你的价值观，
all the things that you treasure, all the things that you dislike, I don't know, everything.
所有你珍视、讨厌的一切事物。
But Mahayana will say, well, you don't really have to apply to everything, it's a waste of time.
但是大乘会说，你不需要应用在所有的事情上，这是浪费时间而已。
Just go to the root of it.
直接去它的根源。
I,
我
that is just very big 26th floor to the ground floor. This whole I, and the worst is M.
那么“我”这个词实在是很大的一点，从26楼到地面1楼，然后还有“我是”的这个“是”。
It's just, the whole. I mean, it has been with me for 62 years. Can you believe?
这个“我是”已经跟着我62年了，你能相信吗？
And then a great bodhisattva was laughing at me. 62, then there's nothing.
然后伟大的菩萨就会看着我笑说：“62是不算什么啊。”
Billions and billions of lifetimes before, when you were a spider, when you were, I don't know, some bugs or
亿万生之前，你曾经是一只蜘蛛或者是昆虫。
when you have when you have a totally different language.
那时候你有一种完全不同的语言。
Yeah, so these are jang. Okay, so there's one word, or actually 2 words, I should say, zangbo jeba, changchup jeba, like pranidana. Yeah, zangbo jeba, zangbo sort of badra, and then changchup is body. Charya, bodhicharya, bhadracharya. Charya is like action, maybe it's like the way you live.
那么 charya 这个词，我们可以把它当作为像是行为或者是你生活的方式，
The way you function, basically.
你作用的方式。
So, bodhisattvas have basically one, but just to make you understand, 2 kind of function, 2 way to live.
那么现在让我们了解两种生活的方式，
Bodhicharya and Bhadracharya.
一个是 Bodhicharya， 一个是 Bhadracharya。
But again, it's okay. So towards the end of the prayer, and this is so good, so beautiful. For how long should you pray?
那么在
For how long should we aspire?
在心愿品的最后有提到说，那么我们应该要发愿要发多久呢？
As long as the sky exists, it says.
直到虚空有尽。
See, I told you, they don't like this kind of words like, for how long should I pray? When did it all begin? When will it all end? They don't like these words. So then that's how you get answers like, as long as there's, as far as there's a sky, there is that much emotion. As long as there is the emotion, may my limit of my aspiration will also be that much.
那么就如同我刚才讲的，佛教真的很不喜欢去问说什么时候开始的，然后需要多久，什么时候结束这些问题，所以才会有答案，就是说只要有虚空就会有烦恼，那么只要有那么多的烦恼，那么就希望我的愿力是如此的无穷。
In a way, this also is an aspiration of may I never be liberated until all these are sorted out.
这个的另外一个理解方式就是，愿我知道众生一切都被解决，这些事情都被解决之前，愿我都不要得到解脱证悟。
So this craving for some sort of an end is not a Mahayana thing.
所以渴望有一个结束尽头这样子的一个想法，并不是大乘的想法。
No last page.
没有最后一页这件事，
No like climax.
也没有高潮。
But at the same time, never feeling dreaded by endlessness.
但是同样的，也不会因为无尽而感到害怕。
Because there is no end, therefore there is no endless.
因为没有尽头，所以也就没有无尽。
So the Bodhisattva was always in bliss.
这是为什么菩萨们总是非常的喜悦，
It's like every moment you are getting promoted.
就像是每一刻你都在被升职一样。
The moment a Bodhisattva sees a, ignorant, stubborn, like impossible person, like it's like so famished.
就像是当一个菩萨看到一个无名愚痴的人，然后他突然间就像对他着迷一样。
And where do these things come from? Again, back to what I've been talking about and what you have really nicely asked me several ways.
那么这一切是从哪里开始的呢？其实就是我刚才所讲的，然后也是各位用不同的问题来问我的方式。
The intrigue, the curiosity of the beginning, and this longing for the end is really not a Buddhist language, and especially Mahayana.
那么，对于初始这样子的这个好奇跟兴趣，以及对结束的渴望，这真的不是佛教的语言，尤其不是大乘的语言。
If you hear this, even intellectually, and if you sort of understand kind of vaguely, this should already free you from the fear of death. Well, that's what the commentary says, so I'm saying this.
那么，就算你只是在知识上听闻这一点，然后对这个概念有模糊的理解，那么这应该就可以让你从对死亡的恐惧中解脱出来。至少释论里面是这样讲的。
Changing death is just like changing tight swimsuit.
那么要改变死亡，就像是要换一件很紧的泳衣。
Like extra small size.
特小号。
Takes a bit of a time to, shrug it off.
就是需要花点时间才能把它脱掉。
So, okay. 샘진탁이 좀 tumbajo 상바jo badana rabtenching. Yeah. May I be okay? So just. May I be able to benefit all others.
愿我能够利益他人。
Okay, actually, there are two things. May I be able to make others happy.
其实有两个部分，第一个部分是愿我能够让众生安乐。
대화들은 군도지, 대화 탐질하는 뱀버지. But more importantly, may I be able to give them something that is beneficial.
但是更重要的是，愿我能带给他们某种利益。
It's like, I know, giving you ice cream makes you happy.
但是给你冰淇淋让你开心。
Immediately after giving the ice cream, I should take it away.
然后马上给完你冰淇淋之后，我就应该把它拿走。
Because it'd be beneficial for your health.
因为这样对你的健康来说比较好。
Right? It's a bit like this.
所以有点像这样。
So may I be able to make them happy, and may I create benefit to others.
所以就是像这样，愿我能够让众生快乐，但是也能够带给他们利益。
May I be able to accomplish all the Buddha activities.
愿我能够成就所有的佛行事业。
Just according to the Buddhas.
就像佛陀一样。
But may I also be able to do that according to the according to sentient beings' mood and culture and hang-ups and all of this. This is so important, this one.
但是愿我也能够依照有情众生他们的心情、文化、他们的执着等等去这样做。
Doesn't believe in one fit all glove.
他们并不相信经典里并不相信有一个单一的解决方式。
Mahayana don't believe in that kind of glove.
大乘佛教不相信有这样的单一解决方式。
If your disciple happen to be a mist or a spider, you will have to act like one, talk like one, behave like one.
假如说你的学生是一阵雾或者是一只蜘蛛的话，那么你的行为还有言语也要像他们一样。
Like getting really excited, swinging on those, what do you call it, web?
像是在蜘蛛网上晃来晃去，你也觉得很兴奋。
Stuff like that. However, like, I don't know, you have to, talk according to that. But, don't forget. But, we should all maybe also be able to accomplish how the things according to the Buddhas. Yeah, that's there always.
所以等等的，像你要这样去做，但是千万不要忘了，总是你要说愿我能够成就佛行般的事业，如佛一般，这是一定要有的。
And may I be able to do these activities without any, endlessly.
愿我能够无穷尽的去做这些佛行事业。
And this is a really good one. May I always encounter who acts like this, who thinks like this. It's very important, especially for the beginner bodhisattvas, to have some support, I guess.
那么还有一点很重要，就是愿我总能够治愈那些和我思考还有行为一致的那些人。那么这对于一个初学的菩萨很重要，就是要有点支援系统。
May I encounter those who have same aspiration,
愿我治愈那些有相同发心的人，
those who wish to benefit others,
那些想要利益他人的人，
those who wish to engage with the excellent charya, the activity.
那些愿意去实施善行的人。
And after meeting them, may I never may I never sort of disappoint them.
那么在碰见他们之后，愿我永远不要让他们失望。
Yeah, this is probably closest thing that Mahayana talks about, the guru, but it's still a spiritual companion.
那么在这边，这应该是大乘佛教讲这个上师的概念最接近的一次，但是它还是比较类似以善知识的角色。
And Sanjay Sejguru, and then may I always learn to gaze to the Buddhas that are surrounded by millions of the bodhisattvas.
愿我总是能够注视着被上百万菩萨所围绕的佛，
And without any tiredness, may I be able to make offerings to them all the time.
愿我能毫无厌倦的总是时时刻刻供养他们。
I don't know how to sort of articulate this. What it's really talking about is not really like it's going to come in the future. What we are talking about is like there is Buddha surrounded by millions of bodhisattvas right now as you open your eyes, and you just need to learn to gaze at them. You need to see them, not just look, actually see, and not only see, interact. Like offerings, like asking questions, receiving the answers.
那么我不知道要怎么样来解释这件事情，因为这并不是说我希望可以在未来看到诸佛被上百万的菩萨所围绕，而是现在此时此刻，当你一张开眼睛，你所注视到的，你所看到的，就是诸佛被众菩萨围绕。那么你不只是要看到他们，你还要和他们交流，你对他们进行供养，你问他们问题，然后得到答案。
Again, just to remind you, this is Abhatamsaka Sutra. This is part of the stem array. Sometimes it's called Flower Ornament Sutra.
那么，请大家要记得，这是《华严经》入法界品当中的一部分。
I guess. Okay, I don't know. Definition of ornament.
那么，我不知道“庄严”这个词它的定义。
Ornament is like something that you arrange so that suddenly everything gets sort of accentuate and become kind of special, something like that, right? Jen, we call it.
那么我们称之为 Jen 的这个庄严呢，有点像它的意思，比较像是我们去安排排列某些事物，然后突然间它的这个品质特质就变得更凸显。
Like, for instance, this flower.
如同这些花，
In our limited human mind, this is an ornament.
从我们这个受限的人类视角来看，它们就只是一个装饰。
And subconsciously, or maybe consciously, the fact that this flower is here this may have made everything, all the other path, beautiful and sort of bearable.
那么，也许在潜意识或意识上，因为有这些花，所以让这其他的一切东西都变得美丽，或者变得可以忍受。
Well, the idea of the Avatamsaka Sutra is you just need to learn how to sort of add that jewel in that sort of, like earring, you just add that blue or I don't know, a pearl, add something, and then everything works out. The ear is also nice. Next to the ear, the nose suddenly looks good. Next to the nose, the mouth suddenly looks good. And then everything looks good.
所以《华严经》在里面讲的，其实就有点像是你在戴耳环，然后你可能只是在里面加了一个蓝色的珍宝或是珍珠，然后突然间你的耳朵变好看了，然后突然间鼻子也变好看了，然后鼻子旁边的嘴巴也变好看了。
I don't know. Those who wish to please read Avatamsaka Sutra, because it's really, it will take some time to get into, but once you get into it, it's so moving, actually. It's really moving. Don't read it as a novel that, it's like it will have some sort of a, like linear sort of, but just read it, and it's supposedly a description of what's happening right this very moment, right? Yeah.
所以欢迎大家有时间的话，可以去读一下《华严经》，可能需要花一点时间，但是真的，《华严经》实在是非常感人。不要以读小说的方式，这种线性的态度去读它，因为其实《华严经》讲的，它所描述的就是此时此刻。
Yeah, it's hallucinogenic mushroom 10,000 times.
有点像是迷幻蘑菇，还要更强1万倍。
It's really, what do you call it? Not just the vision, sound, values, distance, history, everything.
因为不只是你的视觉产生变化，还有声音、价值观、距离、价值等等。
Yeah, Okay, I aspire that, to be awakened, but meanwhile, while I roam around in the samsara,
我祈愿可以得到证悟被唤醒，但是当我还在轮回当中环绕的时候，
may I be able to accumulate merit and the wisdom.
愿我能够累积福德还有智慧，
May I be able to perfect skillful means, wisdom and the samadhi.
愿我能够圆满方便还有智慧以及三摩地。
And again, on top of each one atom exists Buddhas, numbers of the Buddha that is equal to all the atoms in the universe.
那么在每一粒微尘上面，就有整个宇宙中那么多微尘数量的佛。
I will look at these Buddhas. I will gaze at them.
我将注视着这些佛，
And I will emulate these Buddhas
我会仿效这些佛，
for ocean-like eons.
如海般的结实，我将仿效他们。
And I will listen to ocean-like teachings
我将听闻如海般的法，
with their ocean-like melodies.
用如海般的法音来听闻这些法，
with my ocean-like determination, I shall enter into their words.
然后用我如海般深广的决心进入他们的世界。
When these Tathagatas, when they turn the wheel of the Dharma,
当这些如来转法轮的时候，
I shall not only listen and hear their teachings,
我不只听闻他们的教法，
but I shall enter in these teachings with the power of my wisdom.
我将用我智慧的力量进入这些教法。
I shall not only enter in their teachings in this time, but even the Buddhas of the future, I shall enter their speech within one moment.
那么不只是这一次我能够进入他们佛陀的教法，还包括未来佛的教法，我都可以进入他们的说法。
Again and again, I shall emulate these ocean-like Tathagatas.
那么再一次，我将仿效这些如海般的如来，
And not only emulate their body, speech, and mind, but I shall also accomplish the ocean-like Buddha field.
那么我不只要仿效他们的身语意，我也将成就如海般的佛刹土。
To these Buddhas, I will ask to turn the wheel of the Dharma.
那么对于这些佛，我将请他们转法轮。
And I shall go to each of these Tathagatas
那么我将到这每一位如来那边，
within one, in one moment.
在一刹那之间，我就可以到达这每一位如来身边。
And by the power of these, going to the sort of experiencing the presence of these Buddhas, may all my power of the body, power of the there's a specific bodhisattva power, may they all be accomplished.
那么透过接近，然后体验在这些佛陀的身边，愿我这些菩萨的特别的这些力量也能够得到成就。
Just maybe, okay, so one of the power is power of like a miracle power, manifesting miracles.
那么其中一个力量，就像是一种威神力，可以展现神力。
Because the Bodhisattva have understood the relative truth and ultimate truth.
因为菩萨已经了解到了世俗谛和胜义谛。
Because the Bodhisattva have understood non-duality of numbers, size, destinations.
因为菩萨已经了解到了数字、尺寸大小，还有目标之间的无二。
Bodhisattva can manifest these miracles, such as reaching a long distance within 1 minute, 1 moment.
因为了解了这无二的这一点，所以菩萨可以在1分钟、一刹那之间，就可以到达一个很远的地方，这样展现这样的神力。
Expanding 1 moment to 1 eon, and 1 eon to 1 moment.
将一刹那展开至一节，或是将一节缩短为一刹那，
Just one of the power.
这是其中一个神力。
Then also another power is outshining the obstacles.
然后另外一项神力是能够战胜所有的挫折。
Sometimes it's called ziji, which is like presence.
那么可以战胜所有的障难，然后就有的时候也会当作是 present 礼物。
I'm not going to go through all the powers, just this, maybe just 2 of this, because it's quite extensive.
那么我不会完全讲，因为这里面讲的非常深广。
Okay, so power of the presence or outshining the others.
那么这边讲的神力是说，就是比其他来的更耀眼，然后更突出。
Because the bodhisattva is not stained by duality.
因为菩萨并没有受到二元的染污。
Not just the duality of time and space, but duality of just all kinds of good, bad, immoral, moral.
那么不只是时间还有空间的二元，还有包括好坏，然后道德非道德。
Not only, just in every way, physically, speech, mental,
那么
activity.
是各个方面，包括了生理上，还有言语、心理、活动等等。
So therefore, there's just no way the bodhisattva will fall into pretense or hypocrisy, maybe. Yeah, hypocrisy.
所以这就是为什么菩萨绝对不会去假装或者是虚伪。
It's like authentic.
它是非常的真实。
What you see is what it is.
非常的真实，不做作，你看到什么就是什么。
And I think this really shatters the heart of the demons of the hypocrisy.
那么这一点真的是让那些虚伪的魔感到害怕。
This is just a very brief way of explaining. It's a really big one. Sort of authentic sitting, authentic presence, authentic being.
不好意思，刚刚是那个 present 是指存在，所以他这边讲的其实就是真实的存在，然后真实的在那个地方。
Like, not many people are going to argue with you.
会有很多人要跟你争论。
I mean, a very bad example, but it might work.
这是一个很烂的例子，但是也许会有用。
Like a 3 years old baby walking naked. Are you going to argue with them?
像是一个3岁的小孩赤裸的走来走去，你会跟他吵架吗？
That it's unlawful and all of that?
你会跟他争论说，哦，这样不合法吗？
We just have to accept it.
我们就只是接受而已，
There's not much argument.
没有什么需要争论的，
And everybody accepts it.
所有人都会接受。
Yeah, so now multiply this billions of times.
那么将那个乘以10000倍，
The bodhisattvas sort of reaches to this sort of totally authentic, what you see, what you get, just how it is.
所以乘以10000倍之后，菩萨他们已经到达了这个境界，就是完全的真实，你看到什么就是什么。
This to outshine the obstacles.
所以就是能够赢过所有的障难。
Okay, then Bodhisattva maybe we aspire to purify ocean-like Buddha field.
愿我能够亲近如海般的佛土，
Liberate ocean-like sentient beings.
解脱如海般的众生，
See the ocean-like truth.
看见如海般的实相，
Accomplish ocean-like wisdom.
成就如海般的智慧，
Engage with ocean-like activity.
参与如海般的事业，
Accomplish ocean-like aspiration.
成就如海般的大愿，
Make offerings to ocean-like Buddhas.
供养如海般的佛。
And for ocean-like eons, one shall not be exhausted.
在如海般的劫时里，我们并不会感到疲累。
And this bodhisattva, meaning us, we will also accomplish all the Buddhas, their aspiration.
那么这位菩萨就是指的我们自己，我们也将成就所有的佛他们的愿望。
Okay, so this is sort of like a very brief, brief sort of glimpse of how the Bodhisattva thinks.
那么以上就是很简短的一个，我们得到一瞥，看见一瞥，就是菩萨是如何想的。
And in the stanza itself, it comes here. Well, for the beginners, most of us, we can't even fathom these.
那么在偈颂里面是如此讲的，对于我们像这样的初学者来说，我们根本无法想象。
Well, in that case, what do we do?
那么我们要怎么做呢？
Then, for the beginners, but for those who wish to follow, emulate these bodhisattvas,
对于那些初学者，但是想要仿效这些菩萨的人来说，
then the bodhisattva should think that there is a bodhisattva called Samantabhadra. However he did or he aspired, maybe also aspire. That encompasses all the aspiration.
那么这位初学的菩萨就应该想说，有一位菩萨名叫普贤，他是如何发愿的，我就如何发愿，这样就包括一切了。
And then the second one is also as how the bodhisattva aspired. May we with tirelessly aspire.
那么第二点就是菩萨们是如何发愿，愿我们能也够毫无厌烦的如此发愿。
May our action be infinite.
愿我们的行止是无尽的。
May our qualities be infinite.
愿我们的功德是无尽的。
Picking up from the commentary.
那么这些都是从释论里面讲的。
You know, when you read stanza like maybe may our quality be infinite.
当我们读到一个偈颂里面讲说，愿我们的品质功德是无尽的。
It includes like if a bodhisattva requires to be an idiot after 5 p.m. today until 7, why not? That's how. That includes in this one.
所以，假如说一个菩萨必须要在5点之后变得像是一个白痴一样的话，那么这也就包括在刚才那样子的偈颂里。
Because the idiots, you know, like they're so powerful because that can really benefit a lot of people.
因为身为一个白痴，其实是很有力量的，可以利应很多人。
It can make, for instance, people think that they are more useful.
可以让别的人感觉他们自己比较有用，
Which is important. Let them think that.
这点还蛮重要的，就让他们这样想吧。
It's there. You know, if a bodhisattva needs to feel like helpless, sick, whatever, then be that.
只要一个菩萨他需要感觉说，哦，他生病了，然后是很无助，那么没关系，就让他这样想吧。
If the bodhisattva, like I don't know, like homeless, addict, I don't know, or if a bodhisattva needs to be like annoying for like half an hour, may I be that.
所以，假如说一个菩萨他必须要是一个无家可归的人，或者是上瘾的人，或者是一个讨人厌的人，没关系，他就会说让我就这样子吧。
You cannot exclude anything basically. There's not a single quality that can be excluded.
你没有办法排除任何一项品质。
The only thing that can be excluded is something that will go against the truth or something that will not benefit others.
唯一能够被排除的就是，假如他违逆实相，然后也就会并没有利益到众生。
Yeah, so that is basically sort of very bad summary of this aspiration.
那么，以上是对于这个行愿品很不好的一个总结。
So, I guess I should let you ask some questions for few minutes, and then we will do the bodhisattva and refuge. For those who don't wish to take refuge and the bodhisattva vow, but you still want to sit here just to see what's happening, you are very welcome.
那么我们现在会开放让大家提问，然后接下来我们会进行皈依还有菩萨戒。那些不想要受皈依和菩萨戒的朋友们，你们还是很受欢迎的，可以继续留在这边坐着。
But those who wish to go home and, I don't know, do your things, now is good. You can go.
那么想要回家的话也可以。
Meanwhile, we have some questions.
So a number of people online are asking, will Rinpoche give the Lung oral transmission of the text he is reading?
那么有人问说，仁波切会不会给普贤行愿品的口传？
Okay, I will.
仁波切现在会给。
Okay. Another question?
Can Rinpoche please share some advice for people dealing with depression?
请仁波切分享一下那些正在和忧郁症所苦的人，仁波切有什么建议？
It's a little difficult because not trained. I'm not really trained. So, and it's a very, I don't know what depression also means. It's so large, looks like.
那么这是一个很困难的问题，因为我并没有受过相关的训练。然后忧郁症到底又是什么意思呢？感觉是一个很大的一个题目。
Connected to physical, chemical, mental, emotional.
跟你的生理，然后你的生理，还有你的心情，这些都有关系。
If you know, I think psychiatrists and psychologists' help is very good.
那么这些心理学家、心理医生他们的帮忙其实是很好的，
Just like having a good massage.
就像是去有一场很好的按摩一样。
But if you are talking about the depression of basically, you know, samsara as ever leaking plumbing system, then you have to sort of accept that it cannot be fixed, and that will already help a bit.
那么，假如你指的忧郁是指说轮回像是一个永远修不好的排水系统的话，那么你就只是去接受这一点，那么这样就会有帮助了。
It really does help.
这真的会有帮助。
When I'm in places like Japan, when even a small thing goes wrong, I get so annoyed.
像我在日本这样子的地方，就算是有一件小事不对劲，我都会觉得很烦。
In my washroom in Nepal, that washing basin seems to be forever not working.
那么，在我尼泊尔的这个家，那个洗衣机好像从来不会
I'm not.
没办法用的。
I'm actually not really annoyed. I just already accept this. That's how it is.
我也不会觉得很烦，就已经开始接受它就是这样。
So cause and conditions, how to deal with the cause and conditions.
所以如何去处理这些因缘？
Okay, can you? Yeah.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Can you please use your example of falling in a dream to explain the difference between Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana tradition?
Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana.
Vajrayana, yes.
Just these three?
Are there more?
No. I mean, just the difference of these three?
Yeah.
Okay.
可以请仁波切用刚才在梦里面坠落的这个例子来解释声闻乘、大乘和金刚乘三者的不同吗？
I have to be brief. I mean,
很简短的来说，
there's many way of explaining. I'm choosing one only.
有很多种解释的方式，我选择其中一种。
This is regarding the practice.
那么这跟修持方面有关。
So let's say you have anger.
假如说你有一个这个易怒的毛病，
You how to deal with
你要怎么去处理它？
Theravada.
声闻乘
They will say, "Oh, anger is really bad.
他会跟你说，哦，生气真的很不好。
You should really try to read about the bad thing about anger.
你应该要去读一下这个愤怒、生气有什么不好。
You should have a lot of, what do you call it, maitri, love and all that.
你应该有很多的慈心。
So that's how they deal with,
那么这是声闻乘处理愤怒的方式，
like shamatha, vipassana, all of that.
像是止观等等。
Mahayana way is, sentient beings' anger, may they all come to me.
那么大乘的观点就是愿众生他们的愤怒都能够来到我身上，
Yeah, that's how they deal with it.
这是他们处理愤怒的方式。
And then comes the Vajrayana. What do you mean anger is bad?
那金刚乘的人会说：“你说愤怒不好，这是什么意思呢
It's just a mental factor.
它就只不过是你的这个心里的一个，
Just don't let it entangle you, just watch.
不要让它纠缠你，你只是
Yeah,
觉
this is
察
a
它。
very famous one. Pang jur she sum. We call it pang, abandonment, jur, transformation, she, no.
那么这个例子其实是非常有名的。第一个就是你要舍弃，第二个是转换，第三个就只是知道。
Okay. Also, it depends. It's also because of the disciples.
那么同样也因学生而异，
The disciples hears it in a different way.
每一个学生他听闻的方式是不一样的。
I wish that missed disciple have written something, what he has heard, he or she or whatever.
我真希望那个像一阵雾的学生有写了点什么东西，他听到什么。
Thank you for your teachings once again, Rinpoche. You have shared Dharma through books, through movies, even music. If you had an opportunity to share Dharma through video games, how would you do it?
仁波切曾经透过书本、电影还有音乐来分享佛法。假如有机会从电玩中分享佛法，你会怎么做呢？
Can you suggest me some games? I haven't really.
Yeah.
你可以建议我一点游戏吗？
That could take a while, so I'll keep it to like a very small number. But like, for example, Last of Us, Mass Effect, these games that have opportunities for decision making and morality. There's also an entire series of, or not even series, but like an entire world of independent games that are designed more towards mindfulness and towards
Okay.
being for benefit.
Do you have
for
the
good.
list?
I have it, yes, I do.
Can you make one?
Yes,
No,
I
I'm
can make-
serious.
Yes,
This is
yes.
good.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can absolutely do that. But as somebody who works in the video game industry and who has some influence, the only use of that influence is if it can benefit others. So, as somebody who works in that industry and who does not want to cause harm, how would you recommend talking to or teaching the industry to be better?
I'm sure there's a way. This, I don't know how to tell you, but I'm quite sure there's a way. This is what the Bodhisattvas say. If something has a way to deceive you, the very tactic can be used to not deceive you. So I'm sure we can do this. But I need to get the list. Can you please?
I can
Serious.
absolutely get you a list. Just
Okay.
let me know how to get it to you.
问题是说他在电玩业工作，然后有什么方法是可以让这个电玩业不要伤害他人？然后仁波切说，菩萨他们有一种说法，就是假如有个东西它可以欺骗你的话，那么同样的伎俩它也可以不会欺骗你。
Okay.
仁波切，尊贵仁波切，感恩您的开示。今天讲了很多，就是关于做梦和梦醒的。那仁波切一直是一位醒觉的人，那但是我们很多人都是在梦中。那但是相信仁波切，之前也是一个从梦中醒过来的时候，也经历过这样刚刚醒来的这个时候。那请问仁波切，想从仁波切自己个人的一种经历来说，您经历了什么东西，可以让您就是会一直觉得醒觉是很重要的一件事，而不再做梦。另外一个就想传授给我们一个窍诀，用一个很简单的一个窍诀，令到我们在梦中的人也可以记得住这样子的窍诀，可以醒来这样子。
So you've talked a lot about dreaming and waking up, and I believe that you are somebody who was once dreaming and now you've woken up. So could you tell us from your personal experience what makes you feel that waking up is so important? And could you give us a pith instruction so that we can use it even in our dreams?
I haven't woken up.
我还没有醒来，
This is a disclaimer.
这是一个要先讲清楚的事，
Yeah, it's the truth.
这是真的。
OK，
But I have always used logic, ration. That's the only thing I have. So when I use it, I can see the benefit. So I'm somebody who has seen the benefit. So I should consider, I should be happy with myself for this.
但是我也曾经用逻辑和理性等等的，然后这确实有带来利益，所以我应该也对我自己感到开心满足。
有一个窍诀吗？
Is there any pith instruction?
Hmm?
Any pith instruction?
Just do the Pranidhana Raja, actually.
那么就是阅读普贤行愿品。
Thank you, Rinpoche. My question is when we always vow to wake like all the beings up, but when we wake up, we wake up. Like, what I mean is that all the beings in our dream, when we wake up, they're all gone. So why do we make, when we make vow, we always aspire to wake up all? Are there anyone for us to wake up?
我们总
Are,
是
are there anyone?
for us to wake up。
For us to wake them up? I thought they're like when we wake up, like everything in the dream, all beings are gone.
Right.
问题是说，我们总是发誓说我们要让众生醒觉，但是当我们自己清醒的时候，所有的这些众生不就消失了吗？那么真的有那些要让我们唤醒的众生吗？
Okay. Now, again, this is again a very similar thing we have been dealing. It's good that you guys asked this question.
那么这跟我们之前一直讲的很相似，大家问这个问题很好。
So you are talking from the person who is, you are talking from the point of view of the person who is sleeping on the bed.
那么你问这个问题的角度是出自那个在床上睡觉的人的角度，
Yeah. Or wake up. So there's never been falling.
或是因为你在睡觉，所以但是你从来其实并没有掉下去这件事情，
No prayers.
所以其实并没有祈愿。
Yeah.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Okay.
A close friend of mine is quite ill and may die very soon. This is not a spiritual person. She is more scientific. And I don't know how to help her in her process of dying, but I really would like to help her. Do you have any advice for me?
我有一个好朋友，他病重，然后可能快过世了。那他不是一个有灵性追求的人，他是一个科学性的人。我要怎么样在他临终的时候可以帮助他？
Well, Mahayana way, since we are talking about this, if you have a chance, please read this prayer next to this person's, you know.
那么我们现在既然在讲这部经，所以我们在讲用大乘的方法，就是你有机会的话，可以在他身边念普贤行愿品。
Then, if you want to do a little bit more,
只要你想要多做一点的话，
I will say, well, I'm going to say a few things to you.
我会说哦，我要跟你说几件事。
And this may not be, this may be all hocus pocus.
那么这一切可能也都是假的、胡诌的。
But what if it is not hocus pocus?
但假如这并不是胡诌的，而是真的呢？
You might as well hear me out.
你干脆还是听一听吧。
So what you will say is, well, you know, who knows who will die first, you or me?
你可能会跟他说：“谁知道呢？你会先死还是我会先死？
I may be the one who goes first.
我可能是先死掉的那一个。
And when we die, there's going to be separation of body and mind.
当我们死的时候，身跟心会分开。
When there's a separation of the body and mind, actually, it's a good news.
当身心分离的时候，这其实是个好消息。
Good news in the sense that your mind is becoming more independent.
是好消息的原因，是因为这时候你的心变得更独立。
Till now, your mind is always under the wrath of 5 or 6 translators.
那么直到现在，你的心一直都是被这5个或6个 很凶猛的翻译所控制，
eyes, ears, nose, tongue, etc.
眼耳鼻舌等等。
And now they're just saying, they're retiring.
那么现在他们都要退休了，
So your mind is going to be very naked.
所以你的心会变得非常赤裸。
And this mind, naked mind, when this mind interacts with the object, it's going to be really, finally, you will have a so-called objective. You are scientists, right?
那么
Finally, at long last, you are going to have an experience of objective world.
那么这颗赤裸的心，它现在终于可以在跟现象产生交流的时候，它终于能够有所谓的主观。你不是个科学家吗？所以你现在终于能够有所谓主观的视角了。
And this might scare you.
那这可能会让你害怕，
And then don't be scared.
不要害怕，
Always think that it is your mind playing tricks.
要记得这都是你的心在跟你耍的花样。
I think this much will do good for now.
我想讲这样子应该会有多少帮助
Okay.
Hi, Ms. I'm a very novice to all your teachings and the Buddhist teaching. While I'm here today, I'm grateful for everything I'm learning, absorbing, processing, and reflecting. I don't know why, but I'm drawn to the 2 cushions on your couch. And I want to know where I can get them.
我很受到你沙发上的那个椅垫的吸引，请问是在哪里可以买得到？
You better ask these guys. I don't know.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Very good. It's a really good question. Yeah.
顶礼仁波切，就是今天仁波切上午讲到了菩萨修炼佛土的事，然后呢，仁波切举了个例子，就是说穿着盛装，然后到北温去擤鼻涕的这个公案，然后这个公案这个讲法看起来是一种戏论，然后呢，仁波切想表达的意思是不是说菩萨修炼佛土也是一种戏论，还是能不能请仁波切解释一下？
This morning you talked about accomplishing Buddha fields and you gave the example of going to North Van to sneeze. It sounds like a joke. Are you trying to express that accomplishing Buddha fields is also like a joke?
You make it sound. Make it sound like joke is such a joke.
你讲看像是戏论，所以听起来像是个戏论。
Joke is quite important, no?
戏论也很重要，不是吗？
It will release you, I think.
这将解放你。
To be continued.
下次待续，
This discussion to be continued.
我们的讨论下次待续。
If you could clarify how dedication relates to aspiration at this level,
Oh, good.
how
very
they're
good.
similar, how they're different.
Yeah.
How they relate.
Dedication is if you have already accumulated something like a merit, like a prostration, you dedicate. Aspiration is you have nothing specifically done anything, you just aspire. Oh, the malam, we call it.
So does the aspiration work by its own merit? The merit
Yes,
of the
yes,
aspiration?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why, we also did some sort of a 7-limb thing, right? Yeah.
那么问题是说，请仁波切厘清回向还有发心之间的差别。那么，仁波切的答案是，回向是指说你已经有积累了某些福德，像是礼敬等等的，这时候你回向他的功德。那么发心的话是说你并没有任何特别的一个这个福德。那么发心本身就是包括福德在里面，这是为什么我们刚才有讲到有7支的修行。
Okay.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, you mentioned about sometimes how it's not a good idea to tell someone to wake up from their nightmare because they may not be able to accept it. At times from like my previous experiences, it has helped when you advise someone in like as per my perception. But then I was hoping for some kind of advice as to when we can decide that it is a good idea to tell them or not to wake up.
仁波切刚才有讲到说，有的时候在跟做噩梦的人讲说，叫他们醒来，并不是件好的事情。但是从我个人的经验当中，有的时候跟他们讲，确实对他们有帮助。可以请仁波切建议一下，什么时候讲是好的，什么时候是不好的。
Supposedly, there's this aspiration, may I always encounter this friend, community? Yeah, those friends supposedly know how to sort of, should they tell you are dreaming or when to wake you up? Should they wake you up abruptly or should they tickle you or bucket of water? That's why. So aspire for a good companion.
在普贤行愿品里也没有说，希望我都能够直遇善知识。那么这些善知识，他们照理说就是可以告诉你什么时候该醒来，要怎么样让你醒来，是要浇你一桶水，还是搔你痒？所以请你发愿要碰到这些善知识。
Okay, we'll have to sort of.
仁波切吉祥，我有一个问题是我太太的问题，带我太太来问，她呢这段时间没法回温哥华。她的问题是，她现在正在修行，是5加行的上师瑜伽。在这个过程中呢，她一念到仪轨呢，她就在磕大头的时候就没有意乐。只要她不念仪轨呢，她就非常意乐的，也特别轻松的去磕着大头，去完成这功课。她想请这上师仁波切呢开示，她该如何去做。
It's a question from my wife. She's been practicing Nandro and she's doing Guru Yoga. And when she reads the sadhana, she kind of loses the joy of it. But when she doesn't do it, then she doesn't feel this way. So what should she do?
When she doesn't do it?
She feels okay.
She
feels okay when she's not doing the Guru Yoga. But when she is reading the sadhana, then she feels like she loses the happiness.
I see. Take a break for a month, I think.
休息1个月。
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi. Hi, Rinpoche. These teachings have been so precious and have really helped me on my path. And I really pray that my question will benefit many others here. My question is about aspiration, and I've had a lot of obstacles on my path that have caused ill health, and I even tried to reach out to my teacher and had an opportunity for communication, and then was hit by a dump truck and lost my ability to communicate and to speak. And after a year, I tried to write, but it wasn't from my heart. I couldn't feel my heart because of the situation. And it just keeps happening. More and more and more things keep happening like this. So my question is about aspiration. Can you help me to please really essentialize an aspiration to be able to, well, I accept what's happening because it is a fruition of my karma on one hand. And yet I really have a wish to be able to serve the Dharma and to care for the Sangha, and I've been unable to really do that because of lack of vitality of my situation. So is there an essential aspiration you could help me with for this situation?
这位道友他的问题是说，我在我的道途上有非常多的挫折，那么请仁波切给他一个发心的精要。
I mean, you can do this aspiration, but I would suggest you to actually sort it out in a conventional way also, because while we are in that from the 26th floor to the ground, all conventional method applies.
那么仁波切的建议是说，你当然可以念普贤行愿品，但是同时也要在世俗的层面上去解决这些问题。因为记得从26楼到1楼这当中的过程，所有的世俗方式其实都是要被应用的。
Yes.
So I feel like I am doing that. Do you have a sense that I'm not?
他觉得他已经在这
I
样做
think
了。
I'm saying you don't just depend on the aspiration for now.
I see.
仁波切的意思说，不要只是仰赖发心，在现阶段。
Okay. You have to be short. Yeah.
Can you hear me like this? Thank you, Rinpoche. You said enlightened beings are not sentient. Could you say something more about that? Yeah.
仁波切讲到说，证悟的
Okay.
众生他们不是有情，可不可以多讲一点？
You mean enlightened beings?
Yeah, as not sentient.
Okay, let me think about this one.
让我想一下。
Someone who is beyond numbers, directions, space, time, I guess.
一个超越了数字、方向、时间、空间的人。
Okay.
Thank you for your teachings for the second day, Rinpoche. I wanted to ask about the topic of rights and liberties, and what would you say Buddhism and the Dharma's view on them are? Do they align most closely with, say, John Locke or Thomas Jefferson's views on prioritizing individual rights and freedoms and pursuit of happiness above all else, which has shaped much of Western civilization, or perhaps more with Confucian principles that moral obligation and family hierarchy are more important than an individual's rights and freedoms, which is more common to Eastern civilizations? Or perhaps even with Marxism, in that some collective community or class interests supersede those of both the individual and the family? Or is there something totally unique and different on the subject that Buddhism praises?
Yeah, from the, as you know, as I said earlier, all this is from 26th floor to the ground. Yes, they're all equally child's game.
They're child's game. So.
Illusion, child's game. There's many words, like a shooting star, mirage, what do you call it? I don't know what this is. Some sort of a saliva from a small bug that binds themselves. I don't know. I don't know how to translate that.
So what would the Buddha say on the issue?
What?
What would the Buddha say on the issue?
You should transcend them all. None of them works.
Okay.
So basically what I'm saying is Churchill is very wrong. He said democracy is second best. It is not. They're all just rubbish. Okay.
Thank you.
那么主要刚才的问题是说，在问佛教对于权利还有自由的看法，是比较像是西方的自由、个人自由，还是儒家的这种伦理，还是马克思的这种群体，或者是佛教有个特别的想法？然后仁波切的答案是，所有刚才讲的这一切都是从26楼到1楼的过程，全部都像是孩子的游戏，像是一场迷幻，像流星，像海市蜃楼，像是一只昆虫吐出来的口水把自己给束缚。所以佛陀的答案会是你要超越这一切，因为这一切都不好。他想要讲的就是丘吉尔说民主是第二好的，其实是错的，因为所有这一切都是不好的。
Rinpoche, would you please say something about the symbolism of Samantabhadra and the elephant?
请仁波切讲一下，就是关于普贤菩萨还有大象的象征意义。
Yes, very good. I forgot that.
Well, and a quick follow-up question.
They have a big statue and a mountain in China, East China, I think, Sichuan.
It's different than like the elephant of Mayadevi and Lalita Vista, yes? Two different elephants?
I don't know whether there was 2 elephants, but definitely he sits on the elephant.
And the elephant, what does it symbolize?
I think elephant symbolizes a lot of things. Among many things, elephant has this trick. He sees, but he always pretends he is not seeing. Okay.
Thank you.
那么仁波切的答案是说，其实这个很重要，他刚才忘了讲。那么在中国好像是四川的地方，还有一个山，然后上面有一个这个象。那么大象它的象征意义特别的地方，就是它总是有一种给人感觉，就是它好像在看，但是又不在看。
OK。
很感恩这几天仁波切给我们灌顶传法。昨天仁波切还自己念诵了莲师金刚经祈祷文，还做了空行母会供。昨天我回去念普贤行愿品的时候，还在继续发愿，想祈请仁波切领导带领我们大家再念诵一遍莲师金刚祈祷文，就是仁波切念一遍，我们念一遍。感恩仁波切的慈悲。
Can Rinpoche lead the whole group recite the 7-line prayer sentence by sentence?
Okay, let's see.
Hello, I'm a singer-songwriter from Japan, and from a Buddhist perspective, what advice would you give to an aspiring artist?
我是一位来
What
自
artist?
Aspiring?
Oh, I see.
我是一位来自日本的音乐家，请仁波切给就是有这些志向的音乐的艺术家们一些建议。
The Buddhists have a lot to say about art.
那么佛教对于艺术有很多要说的。
There's a whole lot study about Nirmanakaya.
那么很多是关于化身的研究跟学习。
You know about Fudo Myo?
你知道不动明王吗？
No, I'm not too familiar.
Yeah. Anyway, for now, because we don't have much time,
那么因为我们现在没有太多时间。
art is something to do with the illusion in Buddhism.
那么在佛教里面，艺术是跟幻象有关的，
Assembled,
一种集合集成。
but it is worthy if it can lead to the truth.
但是假如它能够带领你到实相，那么它就是值得的。
Yeah, that's all I can say for now.
所以我现在能够讲这么多。
Thank you so much, Rinpoche. My question is, what would you suggest that I say to console my friends who has recently lost their loved ones besides doing dedication and releasing life for them?
请仁波切建议我最近有一个朋友，他失去了一个心爱的人，除了回向福德和为他们放生之外，我还能做什么？
Oh, I don't know, a lot of things, I guess.
很多可以做的。
I don't know, like talking, listening,
跟他们讲话，聆听他们，
and I guess dedicating the aspiration.
然后将这个祈愿文回向给他们。
谢谢仁波切。我的问题是关于儿童的。那我呢是一个外婆，经常陪着外孙女一起看动画片。在这2天教课当中呢，我也在发愿，希望在来到现场的孩子们，以及没有来到现场所有的孩子们，都能在他们的儿童生活当中，以他们适切的方式，能与真相去结缘。那么我的问题是，第一就是仁波切，您拍了很多电影，在您的未来计划当中，有没有关于儿童的动画片或者游戏的项目？第一，第二呢，或者至少我知道您的时间很忙。有没有可能去启发，你周围的人或者有这方面才华的人去做相关的这些工作，让儿童呢就不至于沉迷于，一些不太好的游戏和就是动画片当中。Thank you.
My question is that you've made a lot of movies. Do you have any projects coming up making animation for children or games? And do you have people around you who can help make these movies or games so that children will not just be sucked into all the destructive ones?
I was talking to, I'm going to watch this video, engage to these video games.
仁波切刚刚说他会去了解一下这些电玩。
Okay, thank you.
I do have one movie project about a kleptomaniac monk.
但是仁波切有一个电影的计划，是关于一个非常喜欢有偷窃癖的一个和尚僧人。
So let's see.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Rinpoche, for your teachings. I have a question. Actually, it's coincidental, also related to kids. Because I realize that when in the education system now, we're kind of illusionized. We're always saying we, I, and I want to be successful and all that. But in Dharma, it's actually the opposite. And if we are trying to organize events at the local centers, Buddhist centers, to help the kids, how can we do that? Well, is there any advice you could give that we are not forcing them to become Buddhists, but that we're trying to help them to get enlightened, become a Buddha? Thank you.
This is a very important question. And I don't really have a proper answer, but I'm trying to sort of facilitate creating a school and all of that. So please keep in touch. We will try to see what we can do, together.
那么问题是说，同样是跟儿童教育有关的，在现在的教育里面都是在强调我，但是佛法就是相反的，所以我们要用什么样的活动可以让我们的孩子更能够接近实相？那么仁波切说这是个很重要的问题，但是他并没有一个好的答案，他有一些学校的一些项目计划，所以请保持联络，然后我们可以一起来做这件事。
It's an uphill traffic, sort of. It's not an easy job.
这是一段上坡路，不是件简单的事。
Hi Rinpoche, we've been talking about aspiration. To me, it sounds like it's almost like we're making a wish or making a prayer. And my question is, who are we sort of making the prayer to? Is it like a almighty God that has the power to grant us a wish?
Yeah, good.
我们之前在讲的这些祈愿，好像听起来像是祈求或者是祈祷。那我们到底是在向谁祈求祈祷呢？是一个全能的神吗？
Buddhist, generally, strictly speaking, none. You are just generating your aspiration, determination.
那么对于佛教来说，严格的来讲，其实是没有的，你就只是在发你自己的心，你的决心。
But if you want to have one, the Samantabhadra.
但是假如你想要有一位的话，那么就是普贤菩萨。
Because he aspired to help you actualize your aspiration.
因为他发愿要让你的愿想得以圆成。
Okay.
Oh, Rinpoche, I have a lot of questions, but it's not really the time or the place for any of them. I just wanted to say hello, and hopefully we will meet again in this lifetime, okay?
Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Oh, wait. Okay. Where have you been?
Here in Vancouver.
You still have the stone?
No. Oh, I have lots of stones.
Where are they?
I got some in my pocket.
Oh, okay. Good.
Thank you, Rinpoche. I just have a question, because I'm a beginner and I just wonder if Buddha encouraged us to pray for rebirth in Pure Land, and then why so many monks, they try to reincarnate in Earth again.
Oh,
我的问题是，假如佛陀鼓励我们要投身于净土的话，那么为什么会有这么多僧人，他们又转世回来地球呢？
I think you are talking about some Tibetans, right? Tibetan. It's a very minority.
讲的是这个藏人的，这是很少数一部分。
There's like thousands and thousands of Chinese, Japanese, the Zen, like Korean and the Thai and Burmese, they don't even think about this thing. There's only a few Tibetans in the Himalayas, they have that thing going on.
那么你讲的是很少数的一群人，很多像中国啊、日本啊、禅宗，然后泰国、缅甸这些，他们都不会去想这些事，只有喜马拉雅的这些小群人会想。
And actually it has caused a lot of, puzzlement.
那么这也让很多人感到很迷惑。
And then now there's also a lot of corruption because of that.
然后这里面现在也有很多堕落的地方。
But it's also kind of interesting, so it's not also going to go away.
那这也还蛮有趣的，所以应该短时间不会有任何消失的迹象。
No, it's very interesting.
很有趣。
Yeah, I'm really confused because I feel like if they rebirth here again, that means they didn't stop the reincarnation.
No, because remember, I said earlier, your prayer will never finish. You will never, you don't want to be enlightened. That was one of the prayer.
因为记得我们刚刚讲的吗？就是他的意思是说，假如投身回地球的话，那你不是就是没有证悟嘛？然后仁波切说，行愿品里面不是讲说你其实不希望有一个尽头，你其实是不希望证悟的。
Okay.
Oh, hi, Rinpoche. Thank you for teaching today. I have a question on. This question may not be related to your speech yesterday and today. So I would like to ask that if you would choose a girl you like and a girl who likes you, who will you choose?
假如仁波切要
Choose a girl.
you like versus
Yeah.
a girl who likes you，
Ah.
假如要选择一个喜欢你的女孩和一个你喜欢的女孩，仁波切会怎么选择？
I have to think about this.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
我要想一想。
Can we exchange our email?
可以把
Yeah,
email
yeah,
给
sure,
我
no
吗？
problem.
Then I will tell. Yeah, maybe you should help me.
也许你应该帮我。
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there we go. Okay. Yeah. I think just yeah. This.
Hi. Hi, Rinpoche, nice to meet you. I became a Buddhist since 2012, but I only started to watch your videos and read your books since 2020. So then I remember I wrote a line on my social media. I said, I need to meet Dzongsa Rinpoche at least once in my life before I die. And today I feel like my mission is accomplished. So thank you so much for coming to Vancouver. I was actually I just found out you're in Vancouver since last night, accidentally on Redbook, Xiaohongshu, from one of your videos that you're greeting to New Zealand, your students from New Zealand. And then I found that the tickets were sold out. So I was begging the girls at the entrance to sell me one more ticket. I brought one of my friends too. He didn't get to get in, but they just sold me one ticket. So I just feel really honored to come here and see you today. And thanks so much for coming to Vancouver. I hope you come again.
Thank you, Rinpoche, for all your activities. And I just want to request you to read the text you wrote on the beginning of January, which is called Invocation. At the beginning on 2023, I think you wrote a text which is called Invocation. So I request that you could read it, please.
Yes, I've already read it, so you can do that invocation. Okay.
Hi, Rinpoche Jachidere. Can you help us? Can you tell us how can we really achieve the level of Maha and the non-duality in reality?
Oh, hearing
Because
and contemplation.
No time, no space, no form, no shape, and no color. It really bothers me. Thank you.
请问在实际的层面，我们要怎么样达到这个大乘的大以及无二的这样子的一个境界？仁波切说是文思。
That nothing to worry about.
没有什么需要担心的。
That is much easier than lot of our habituation.
因为这个其实比我们很多的习性更来的简单。
What's your name? Josephine. See? That's how you have been habituated to call yourself. That is kind of ridiculous.
回答你的名字。
Yeah, so we get habituated like that. So now we use the same tactic to habituate. It doesn't mean you are no one. it just means Josephine, body, mind, speech has no truly existing nature. No one means nihilism, so little difference.
仁波切问他说：“你的名字是什么？”他马上回答自己的名字。那么这其实就是一个习惯。那仁波切说：“我们就是要习惯的这个伎俩来重新去习惯，并不是说就没有 Josephine 这个人，而是说 Josephine 这个人和身与意其实并不真实存在。”
That one, yeah, as all the Bodhisattvas said, you have to, and it's actually easier to get into this habit, actually, because that is more closer to the truth.
那么，如同所有的菩萨所讲的，要能够养成就是这个 Josephine 这个人并不真实存在这样子的一个习惯，其实上是更简单的，因为这是更接近实相。
Yeah. Well, we don't have much time now, so can't really discuss this. But this one, yeah, this is why the stage of hearing, contemplation, and meditation. This is why.
我们没办法有时间讲太多，但这也就是为什么闻思修很重要。
Okay, now we are going to do the Bodhisattva vow.
接下来我们要来受菩萨戒。
Okay, you are not taking refuge to me.
你不是向仁波切皈依。
I can't give you refuge.
仁波切无法给你皈依或庇护。
Because you have to take refuge to someone who will not deceive you.
因为你必须要向一个不会欺骗你的人，从他那儿得到皈依。
Someone who will not falter.
他不会摇摆。
Someone who you can trust.
一个你可以信任的人。
So the only thing you can take refuge to is the Dharma, Buddha, Dharma, the Sangha.
所以你唯一能够皈依的对象就是佛法僧。
Everything is impermanent.
一切无常。
That's the Dharma.
这就是法。
Nothing will give you 100% satisfaction.
没有什么能够给你100%的满足。
Nothing exists independently and truly.
没有什么是独立而真实的存在。
This is not going to deceive you. It's not going to be like one day something will become permanent.
那么这几点都不会欺骗你，不是说有一天某样事情就会变得很长。
This one you can rely on.
那么你可以相信依靠这一点。
So that's what it is, taking refuge.
所以皈依其实是在做这件事。
And then one who taught, the Buddha, one who realized this, the Buddha, and then the community, the Sangha, that's what you are taking refuge.
那么领悟这个真理的人就是佛陀，然后跟这个真理在一起的社群就是僧。
So first you have to take refuge before you taking the Bodhisattva vow.
所以在受菩萨戒之前要先皈依。
Now, what do I do? You know, is there some sort of a commitment, like from now on I can't go to Las Vegas, stuff like that?
那有什么承诺吗？是不是从今天开始起我就不能去拉斯维加斯？
None of that.
没有。
If you have taken refuge to the Dharma, then you can't really take refuge to the belief that maybe something does exist permanently, because it doesn't make sense.
所以，假如你皈依法的话，你就不能够去皈依有一个想法是说什么事情是恒常的，因为两者是冲突的。
Yeah. So if you have taken refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, you can't really take refuge to a system that believes in permanent, in all of that. You can't.
所以，假如你皈依了佛法僧，你就没办法皈依一个相信恒常的系统。
It's just, you know, you go to right, you go to right. You can't go to left and right together right now.
你要去右边就去右边，没办法又去右边又去左边。
Okay, and then try not to harm others.
然后试着不要伤害他人。
Okay, so now usually, okay, so here we are performing a ritual.
所以我们现在要进行一个仪式。
Because although the main taking refuge is through your engagement, but a ritual helps.
即使真正的皈依是透过你的参与，但是仪式还是会有帮助。
So that's why there's a ritual of taking vow.
这是为什么会有受戒这样的仪式。
And to represent the Shakyamuni Buddha, the teacher, here is the statue which will symbolize.
为了要代表释迦牟尼佛这位导师，我们这边有一个佛像。
And think that this is not a bronze, but this is real living Shakyamuni Buddha.
所以请思维，这不是一个铜像，而是真实存在的释迦牟尼佛。
And then folding your palms together,
双手合十，
please repeat after me.
跟随仁波切念诵。
장축 닝벌 치지벌 상제남라 잡수치 최당 장축 삼바이 초랑 대진 잡수치 장축 닝벌 치지벌 상제남라 잡수치 최당 장축 삼바이 초랑 대진 접수치 장축 닝벌 치지벌 상제남라 접수치 최당 장축 삼바이 초랑 대진 접수치. I'm going to pause a little bit.
我现在会暂停一下，
And I will snap up my fingers.
然后会弹指。
At that moment, you have taken refuge.
在那个时候，你就受了皈依。
Okay, now to take the Bodhisattva vow.
接下来菩萨戒。
Again, in the presence of the Buddha and the Bodhisattvas,
那么在诸佛菩萨前，
think that you will take this path to awaken all sentient beings.
你将进入这条法道，以度化众生。
Now, this is a Madhyamika tradition, which means you don't have to apply all the Bodhisattva activity overnight.
那么这是一个中观的传统，不是说你隔夜之间你就要去做所有的菩萨行。
You will try step by step to awaken all sentient beings.
那么你会一步一步的去度化众生。
Okay, so thinking that, please repeat.
如此思维跟随念诵。
지다릉은지 대시지 장춥투니 제바당 장춥선비 라발라 대다 림진 네바따르 대진 롤라 펜든두 장춥셈니 제지싱 대진 두니 라발랑 림바신두 라버지 지다릉은지 대시지 장춥투니 제바당 장춥선비 라발라 대다 림진 네바따르 대진 롤라 펜든두 장춥셈니 제지싱 대진 두니 라발랑 림바신두 라버지 지다릉은지 대시지 장춥투니 제바당 장춥선비 라발라 대다 림진 네바따르 대진 롤라 펜든두 장춥셈니 제지싱 대진 두니 라발라양 림바신두 라버지. Again, I'll snap my fingers. At that time, you have taken the Bodhisattva vow.
我将再次弹指，然后那时候你就受了菩萨戒。
Okay, now I'm going to lead you through some contemplation.
那么接下来我会带领你们进行一些思维。
So please think that today your life has become fruitful.
所以请这样思维，从今日起，你的人生就变得有意义。
Today I have become the heir of the Buddha.
从今天起，我变成了佛陀的后世。
From now on, I shall try my best to engage with the Buddha activity.
从今天开始，我将努力去实行佛行事业。
Like a blind beggar stumbling into treasure mine.
就像是一个盲眼的乞丐，突然间进入了宝库。
Amidst these negative emotions and habitual patterns,
在所有这些负面的烦恼还有习性当中，
I have found this supreme kindness, the wish to awaken all sentient beings.
我找到了这殊胜的仁慈，就是要唤醒众生。
I rejoice myself.
我随喜自己。
And then think, declaring to others,
然后向他人宣誓。
Today, in the presence of the Tathagatas,
今天在众如来前，
I have taken the Bodhisattva vow.
我受了菩萨戒。
May all gods and asuras be happy.
愿所有的天人跟阿修罗开心。
May the bodhicitta sprout or grow in the minds of beings who doesn't have the seed of the bodhicitta yet.
愿那些在心里面还没有菩提心种子的人，他们的菩提心得以茁壮。
And those who have bodhicitta, may their bodhicitta grow and mature.
那些已经有菩提心的人，愿他们的菩提心继续增长。
May all be not separated from the bodhicitta.
愿众生永远不与菩提心分离。
May us all be embraced by the Tathagatas.
愿我们永远能够受到如来的照护。
May we be free from thoughts and actions of maras.
愿我们能够从魔的念头还有行为中得到解脱。
May all the bodhisattvas wish to be fulfilled.
愿所有菩萨的愿望都已圆成。
Whatever the Tathagatas wish, may they be accomplished.
所有如来的发愿都能够得以圆成。
And then series of aspiration.
然后接下来是一连串的发愿。
May I be medicine for those who are ailed.
愿我能够成为那些生病人的良药。
May I become a bridge for those who wish to go across.
愿我能够成为那些想要渡河的人，他们的桥。
May I become a boat for those who wish to go other shore. Go to the other shore.
愿我能够成为那些想到达彼岸的人，他们的船。
May I be a guide for those who are lost.
愿我能够成为那些迷失的人，他们的向导。
May I become companion for those who are insecure.
愿我能够成为那些不安的人，他们的朋友。
May I become a shade for those who are tormented by heat.
愿我能够成为那些被烈日所受到挫折的人，他们的庇应。
May I become a lamp for those who are roaming in the dark.
愿我能够成为那些在黑暗中游走的人，他们的灯。
Now, after this, I'm going to do the transmission or the reading of the Pranidhana Raja that we have been going through.
那么在这之后，我们仁波切将会给我们普贤行愿品的口传。
자그르기도 아리야 바르짜리야 빠라니다나 라자 배우기도 바바 상부지 웬만하면 지체보 바바 잠배슈는 주발라 차찰로 진예수도 주지된 두스미시바 미승이 당이 말로 대다탐질 루당하이 다음에 체주 상부지 웬만하면 또 자와 탐지 지 무슨 무슨 이든 일려도 자와 끝을 두지되는 등 예상 상지 세주는 주고 대다 추지는 말로 탐제 저와다게 가면 대당 하면서 저서 양지인 저서 저기 저기 대화를 시고 탐지다게 매도던 처음부터 신년 주부터 저도 말매 줘도 위담 배자와다는 주부지 나자담 저도 채마 부모주님부터 그 배치고 배치고 자와다는 주부가 나면 저도 대단 저와담 라야면 상보절을 대비도록 저하고 찬스 주부지도 셔셔도 팀모한테 류당다 디지티 바다게 주부지 대다 탐지다 조지 저하고 선지세 라자는 돈라도면도 좋아하고 있으는 거는 대다 꾼지지 수다이를 가면 쳐주지든 좀 change 버선지 맞아. 그건 대다다 탐젤라. 콜론라나 매보고 그냥 대다까지 들어가는 비지도 비지가 버시면 뒤집어 딱 탐발서 같이 차서부터 뒤집어 지수는 구지소에 개와 중대다게 지수부터 탐지다게 change 치는 거고. 대비 선진도 쳐주지든 나가는 좀 가야 맞지. 섬도 change는 버선지 쳐주가 되시는 진이 대다 자실이 용수다 버려 장주 신원 동시지와도 선시지 들어가 주시면 시간 되시면 되는 매주 들어가고 주시 tumber 주시로 장주 주바단 다지 들어가고 좀 새롭게 침받지와는 따도 단위를 주고 저하고 상부 주변에 수림지 붙으면 따도 많이 쯤에 집을 해게 되는 어떤 요즘 좀 다도 미개는 들어가고 이제 저기 탐지 깨도 다 최든 또 대신 바로 지나서 주시면 가는 좀 들어가는 좀 대담한 라다님부터 주는 조진지든 좋아하는 지다 배면 지면 잡아진다는 거 지금 그래서 동안 주셔지다 받아 더 탐지는 배면 전주변에 점진다 그죠 또 맞아 상부지보다는라든지 뭐 까박근데 주부지다 그죠 좀 대다든 리당하다 단점이 죄바다면 지도지다라 팬벌 뒤부터 상부지보다 대다다는 상지 세지고 무슨 다다게 저다 마음 까박근 미저다나 주부지 좀 change 주바근 상부지보는 벌써 마음 까박근 주부지 스바 탐지되어 그러는 순미시단 탑다 셔도 등등 된된 끈집에서 뒤지는 등이시다 신대상지면서 선지도 선시주는 좀 전시바지는 다 대담만 짜섬 좀 상지 제수시는 좀 스카바지 수지는 제수적인 저하고 얘는 상지 순시비 저하고 좀 그렇잖아 좀 대다 그냥 수행면서 로이 또 지다 전랑 주 마음과 같은 좀 계지 찌기 되지 그냥 그버렸어 계지 쳐지시는 거지 뒤숨시바 미승이 되다 깨지지를 다 그냥 주물 집에는 그냥 뒤숨다기 신부터 다 되지 등등 대다 말을 좀 저하다기 신 거지 그냥 맞지 되면 대다 좀 상처받는 양도 반복 근지도 다 적은 이유도 근데 거의 대부분 근데 연대 주부터 근데 참바지보다 근데 기회선 돈도 잡으면 집에 대시로 잡으면 change 나는데 왜 레지도 내서 영문도 근데 뒤지도 또 매도 상부 집에 되는 또 버지 신남자스나 받아지으면 저는 저서도 시점서도 제바졌나 받아지 남자들도 저 상지도 가봐지 아니 되지 change 상부 집에 change 대기한다기 말해서 저긴 있으지도 가는 개봐야 되다 좀 개봐야 되다 리당하던 지남도 집어넣으시는 된다다 진짜 좀 붙이니까 와서 붙이 잠벌지면 좀 마음 까불건 붙이 대죠 아무도 저지 죄바다니 체험하지 진짜 체중을 붙이면서 남기때도 주비지 좀 선지만 되는데 다금 남타는 데서 강의 주시는 때문에 차담이 되버지는 친구들이니까 그런 거지 렌치 쓰면 되버지 무슨 담배 줄도 줄 가서 상치면 되다 디닝 소통 좀 하지 된다 방을 보는 거 되는데 네버미도 미세디한테 대다른 참여를 받아게 되면 강기 미션 그 집에 대해서 뭐 집에 주는 것도 말이에요. 요시 되는 소리 리다 카드 넘는 자주 심어도 좀 가야 상부 집에만 하면 청원단에 좀 넘어야 돼. 넘버 멤버서 자주 줄을 숨님하지 전부 배주다 좀 특별히 상부 대한 대신데 다 균지지서 달로지게 와대다 두숨시 비쳐도 가는 쇼랑 딱이 계획 써버티 상부지 좀 하지. 단이 치비 뒤지주나 저 같은 탐지 무슨 대선에는 뭐는 대다지 탐지 말링을 좀 했다면 다 지든지 쓰지 제외 친구 선지가 아무도 무슨 나와 되죠. 무슨 temporary 다 그들죠. 대니다 그런 데는 좀 한번 붙여 주는 상부 집에는 이렇게 붙여서 되는 깨지게 되는 상부 선음 담바 타에 건도 좋았던 거죠. 만남 집부터 타에도 그는 근도 상부 집에 그냥 손에 남아도 동버스 가봐 상부 집에 만남 집에 줘서 토미스 근도 상부 뭐 지대가 되진도 좀 된지 숨바. So this is the Yeah, but very, very briefly. Even as I was reading it again, I just find there's just so many elements that's not covered. But I think most of it you will have to just find it yourself.
那么今天就是对普贤行愿品很简短的介绍。那么我刚才在念的时候也发现很多没有讲到的，但可能大家要自己去发掘这些点。
Even as I was reading, like 2 things it caught my attention, which I didn't manage to share with you.
那么我在读的时候，刚才有2件事情让我注意到，我忘了跟大家分享。
One is there's this aspiration, daishing, meaning, at glance it sounds like, may I always be daishing. It's like kind of elegant, but elegant coming with a sense of not engaging.
那么其中一个发愿是说，希望我能够总是优雅，但这个优雅是来自于并不参与。
There's just so many gems in this.
这里面真的有很多宝藏。
Like when I interact with the people, may I always be elegant, but with an element of unassuming, like as if you are doing nothing, basically. But then actually you do everything.
也就是说，当我在跟人交流的时候，愿我能够总有这份优雅。这份优雅就是我并不是真的参涉其中，我很低调，看似什么都没有在做，但是你其实什么事情都做了。
Then the other one that caught really my attention.
另外一个让我注意到的是
that I didn't mention is prophecy.
另外我没有讲到的就是一个预言。
Yeah, it really have the aspiration that may the Buddhas come and give me prophecy that you will become this and that.
那么愿诸佛能够真的来受应我，让我能够成为这样。
This is a very, very big concept in the Mahayana.
那么这在大乘里面是一个很大的一个概念。
I think it also encourages the young bodhisattvas.
那么这也鼓励了年轻新进的菩萨们。
Sometimes some of these bodhisattvas, these Buddhas, they can even prophesize that so and so in the future, eons after eons, you will become so and so and so.
那么很多时候，佛陀他们可以去预言说，在未来，在几千劫之后，你会变成某某人。
Okay, I know I haven't given you refuge name.
我知道我还没有给大家皈依的名词。
If you insist, for those who don't have, I know most of you have. But if you really want to have,
假如你真的很坚持要有个皈依的名字的话
call yourself flower ornament.
那么称你自己为花的庄严。
Okay, that's it. Thank you so much.
We've reached the conclusion of our program, but I wanted to take some time for some very brief but also very important thank yous. First of all, I would like to thank the staff of the Vancouver Playhouse for all of their hard work this weekend. Next, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our team of hardworking volunteers. With all of their diligence and hours of hard work, this definitely wouldn't have been possible. They're both on site and they're also online making this happen. So let's join me in thanking them. Candice, thank you so much for providing translation. And last, but absolutely certainly not least, please join me in thanking Rinpoche for taking the time to come all the way here to Vancouver to spend 2 days in illuminating this text, Samantabhadra's King of Aspiration prayers. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to a time that you can return. Hopefully, that time won't be too long. Join me in thanking Rinpoche. Thank you, everyone.